Man, I wonder what happened to my old Zeroid. I think it broke pretty quickly. These toys are not meant for 5-year-olds. They don't last very long. I don't know why it just disappeared. I guess my mother threw it away because it was a broken toy, but now just a broken toy just looks cool on a shelf. But that was about 1970. I was born in San Antonio, and when I was 4, my father got orders when he was in the Army to go to Germany. So we went to Germany from 1969 through 1972. I was there first in kindergarten, first grade, and then he got orders to go to Hampton, Virginia. And then so I was there for second grade. Then third and fourth grade, I went back. He got orders for San Antonio, so he had a house built for us, and we moved there. And it was third and fourth grade where I really got into Marvel comics, and those are the years of Wacky Packages and discovering Star Trek and Lost in Space. So many great things that I still love. I became aware of then, like 50s music, because my brother bought the soundtrack to American Graffiti. And back then, in the 70s, you might buy a record, or as the youngsters like to call them, vinyls. And records weren't made very well in the 70s. 10 years later, CDs would replace them. They just weren't, it's like they weren't made with care. You take the shrink wrap off the first time you play the record, there'd be all these pops and maybe even skips. So my brother didn't have a turntable, but he bought the two record set of the soundtrack music from American Graffiti, and he told me to play it on my childhood phonograph, because that was the only phonograph in the house, to test it out to make sure there were no problems with the record, because otherwise he'd have to return it and get a new one. So I listened to it, and that music just overwhelmed me. And I thought, well, this music's so much better than the music of today. But looking back on it, the music, people, in the 80s liked to make fun of the music of the 70s, and how cheesy it was and how stupid it was. And there would be these compilations called Have a Nice Day of the music of the 70s, and people would laugh at it. But looking back on it now, that music of the 1970s was great. I mean, it was great. Not all of it, but the things that people made fun of, the Carpenters and Seasons in the Sun, that song Seasons in the Sun hits me. I'm telling you that, you can tune out, but I've got stuff to do. So I will talk to you while I do the stuff. I've got all these boxes I've got to move back up. So let's get started on that. But anyway, 70s weren't that bad. But in third and fourth grade in San Antonio, I had all these friends that were into cool stuff. They were neat people, right? And then we move, and we go to Tacoma, Washington. And that was the last year my dad was in the Army. That he retired after that. But that was the 75, 76 school year. So that would be exactly about 50 years ago. There I didn't have many friends. I remember one friend, Roland Perry, and I can't find any trace of him ever even having existed on the internet. And maybe he was a figment of my imagination, but he's the guy that told me, you need to be getting these new X-Men comics. And I said, pshaw. And I wish I'd listened to him, because he was telling me in the first couple of not long after the new X-Men started. But I started to listen to him, and eventually I caught on that the new X-Men was truly great. And but anyway, Roland Perry was the guy that told me about that. And so right about this point, I guess we were packing up to go back to Texas, to Arlington. And so we got to Arlington, I guess, in July of 76. And that's where, other than 1 year of my life where I moved to East Texas, that's where I've been until 4 years ago when we moved here. And in Arlington, in Tacoma, I didn't have many friends. In Texas, I met a few friends, but all through junior high was miserable. I was the guy with glasses and stuff, thick glasses, and the shy kid and I can be. I am usually in life, I'm pretty withdrawn and quiet. So, is it really possible to move all these boxes while I tell you this story? Oh, shit. The cat has gone up. Look at this. He's climbed up onto... That's recessed lighting up there. And it's not currently working, but the cat goes up there, which I wish he wouldn't, but there was something up there and he was hunting it. Now he just goes up there for fun. My gosh, look at this. He gets his paws pretty dirty up there. I don't think anyone's dusted up there for about 60 years. This recessed lighting goes throughout the room, but only the first few light bulbs are working, so I'm going to have someone look at that to get it all fixed like it was working. So, didn't have any friends through high school. A few good friends. I've just recently made contact again, and I'm texting pretty regularly with an old friend named Ryan that I've known since about the time Star Wars came out, which would be 49, 48, years ago. Star Wars came out in 1977. And, but for the most part, I just had a few friends, and which is really, having a big group of friends is not as good as just having 2 or 3 really good friends. There was a college professor I had that said you shouldn't have any friends, that don't ever trust friends. he was a history teacher, but he just would say, read these chapters at home, but he wouldn't even really talk about history much in class. He would just basically rant like in a Woody Allen way about how horrible everything is in life and how much he hates football players. And there were football players, of course, in the class. He just had found a place where he could preach and do his little Woody Allen style routine. But what are you up there doing, Ambrose? See, I had stuff on top of all these machines, but he knocked the stuff down off of Elvira, so I've kept it clear. I've got to clear off all these pinball machines. That's another thing I've got to do. Then later, about 1:30, I've got to take our dog Drew over to get vaccines because the dog is going to the groomer, and they've got to have an up-to-date shot record. So that's all I've got really to do today. So, all right, let's get started. Time waits for no man. Okay, what's Ambrose going to see? Oh, Ambrose look what he's doing. He's figured out how to get down. Oh no, you're going that way? What are you going to knock down now? Well, let's see, how does he get down? Because I've never seen how he gets down. What are you going to do, man? What are you going to knock down? There's no real clear spot to knock. Oh boy. Oh, he sees a spot to jump down here. Oh, he almost knocked the Oh, he's going to play with the Christmas ornaments. All these Christmas ornaments are here on this machine because you knocked them off the tree when I was thinking of putting up the Christmas tree because it's almost Christmas. It's almost June. But I need to get a Christmas tree that's, those aluminum trees, man, are not good. Okay, they're good, but not if you have cats. So, all right, so Ambrose is through with his mischief, hopefully. Um, so, I'm don't have many friends through high school. But then, something weird happened in high school. I got contact lens, and then because the people were very shallow, I was somewhat accepted by, football players would talk to me. Because I don't know if it's that way all through the country, but there in Texas, if you had glasses or appeared to be smart, you were hated and shunned. And I don't know that I was that smart, but I consistently got good grades, except for in math. Sometimes I even got grades in the 70s in math. But I would really try to get good grades. I just thought that was my job, and I didn't, I don't know. It just was something I felt I had to do. But looking back on it now, I don't know why none of that really even mattered that much. But it mattered to me because I wanted my parents to be proud of me, I guess. But now you look back on it, and it's like, who even cared? The grades. But why was I trying so hard? I wasn't gonna go to an Ivy League school or something. You had to go to pep rallies. That was mandatory. And I remember at Arlington High School, I was class of 1983, right? And I would go to these pep rallies in the gym, and the cheerleaders would dance around. They'd bring a little horse in, because they were the Colts, and they had a little white horse that would come out. Hold on, I'm moving comic book boxes. And, somehow I never got into school spirit. I always just liked that college professor of mine, whose name was Alan Sachs. I wonder if he's still around. He used to have a public access show there in the 80s where he would sit there with another guy and he would do the same thing he'd do in class, just talk about the world. And he had the weirdest little voice. He kind of talked in a squeaky voice. Alan Sachs. And he looked a little like Groucho Marx, but acted like Woody Allen. And there's stuff all around Arlington, Texas that's named after him. And you think he was someone that, well, by now he might have passed away, but it looked like he was someone that was a town founder. But what had happened is I think he had inherited a lot of money and didn't give a crap about the money, so he donated it to the town. And he would pay for renovations to parks, he would just, pay for buildings to be put up. And he was, so he had stuff named after him everywhere. Anyway, so here I am at these pep rallies, right? And I'm kind of sitting there. And another thing happened. Do you remember when MTV first started? Most of the American artists didn't want to have anything to do with music videos. I remember some of them swore they would never do them, like Bruce Springsteen. He didn't do any videos until that "Born in the USA" crap. Sorry, I don't have reverence for Bruce Springsteen. You're supposed to think he's the greatest of all time, but I don't think that. Scheiße. This is really, really hard to do. I'm carrying a tripod with a phone while I'm moving boxes. Anyway, but it was bands in England were doing the music videos, or they were smaller bands, and so MTV just took off, and with all the kids in high school, and then all of a sudden these bands that never would have made it otherwise, they never would have gotten airplay on the radio, were played on MTV and became huge, like all these all that 80s music, man. Hold on a second. I can't do this. I gotta. So all these bands, remember in the early days of MTV, it was all these bands you never would have heard. They would have been popular in England and never here. Like I remember the Modern English, the Flock of Seagulls, that kind of stuff. But I remember, man, first time I heard "We Got the Beat" by the Go-Go's. What a great song that was. Just now hearing just the beat. That's just the beginning of that song. It'll completely change your mood. Nobody's making music like that today. Taylor Swift, nobody's making music like that. So I'm trying to make music on Suno.com. But I wish that there was real music being made that was great, but just my point in bringing up MTV is a band called the Stray Cats. They weren't a British band, but they might as well have been, because they were American, but they went over to England and became famous there because in England they revered American rockabilly from the 50s. And so they became popular on MTV. And look at this, here's the Tacoma 1975-76 phone book from that time period I was just talking about, when I was living in this cool old house on the base in I don't remember the name of that Army base, but I don't remember, man. But it was in Tacoma, Washington, whatever Army base is there. My father was like running the hospital there. Then he retired and moved back to Texas, and I'm going to put this phone book in this box because there's a little bit of space in there to fill up. I don't want the magazines to sag. Just a second, let me comb my hair. I just got out of the shower. Well, I was always making mixtapes, cassettes, and playing them in my car, which was a 1981 Chevy Malibu, light blue, that my parents had gotten for me. It had been a rental car, I remember. It wasn't anything glamorous, but that's what I drove in high school. And I would play old rockabilly music. And I discovered that from the American Graffiti soundtrack that my brother bought in 73. So I even had a black leather jacket. I could show. It was just sitting here on the couch. I took it off somewhere. Anyway, So all of a sudden, the Stray Cats come. Then all of a sudden, the girls are all into that. And wait a second, that guy, that quiet guy, he's been dressing that way for for years, and I suddenly looked like I was somehow ahead of a fashion trend, that I was like cool for a couple of months. So MTV's on the, we get this Arlington telecable. I remember when cable came in. We got it about 1981, right about the time MTV started. And I've been reading all about how cable TV was coming to Arlington. And then we get it, and it's just incredible. All of a sudden, there's Night Flight on the USA Network, and all this wonderful stuff. MTV was on Channel 47. I remember that. So I'd come home and I'd turn on Channel 47 and listen to or watch MTV, which is meant to be like a radio station where you could see the music being performed. And it was like a radio station you could see. Of course, MTV evolved into something that never played music, ironically, and I don't even know if it still exists or not. But I would go to these pep rallies in high school because I had no choice. And it's not like they called roll, but I could have probably escaped. But I did what I was told, right? And I would see these. I was a sophomore, right? And there were these guys that were seniors, and they would hold up these giant posters, giant banners that said, "Who cares? Apathy Club says, who cares?" And all these different things. And then the coaches were so mad. Get those motherfuckers, take those posters down. We're supposed to love football, supposed to care about football. Football is God in Texas. It's like my friend Tom. He was in driver's ed, and the coach was teaching driver's ed and was driving in the car with him, Coach Archer. And Tom was kind of a muscular guy. And said, "You're going to play football, boy?" And he says, "No." And he says, "If you don't play football, you ain't nothing." Seriously, he told him that. So there were these guys. It was the Apathy Club. And it was then there was an article in the high school newspaper. I've got it somewhere. Where about these guys in the Apathy Club. They were the seniors of the class of 81. I was class of 83. I didn't know them. I didn't have classes with them, but I saw their antics and I saw their posters. And then they had for the prom. Every year there's a class song. I don't know if they still do that anymore, but they'd have the seniors vote for the class song that represented them as that class. And the Apathy Club, which is a group of about 12 guys, they put posters everywhere that the Peter Gunn theme should be the class song of the class of 81, the theme to the TV show, the Henry Mancini amazing theme, one of the greatest songs ever recorded. And I knew what the Peter Gunn theme is. Most of the people in the hallways had no idea what that was. And I understand that they had enough votes for the Peter Gunn theme to actually be the theme that would have been played at the prom and everything. And then someone decided, we're not going to allow those people to win. And it became, then the class song became The Best of Times by Styx. Which is like, the best of times, I win, I believe. which I guess it's not a bad song. I like Styx. I mean, they were horrible, but they're a horrible band. You couldn't. Another horrible. Who says they're horrible, man? Why do I? If something entertains me, then it's not horrible. So why should I be embarrassed by it? REO Speedwagon. You're not supposed to like REO Speedwagon, but when I hear that, what man, how does that song go? Heard it from a friend who, heard it from a friend who, heard it from another, you've been missing. God damn, that's sorry about my language. That song will really grab you, and it's like amazing. They were good, but the Peter Gunn theme would have been amazing, even though it was a song from 20 years before. It didn't really represent the kids of the early 80s, but anyway, so I admired what they did. They all graduated, and only one was younger, and he was in my PE class. His name was Charles. So I tried to befriend him, and it's like, man, tell me about the Apathy Club. All those guys that graduated, they're all off at college now. And here I am. I think I was a junior at that point. They'd all graduated, and he'd say, well, yeah, blah, 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 he was a little snobbish. He later went off to Hollywood and became an actor. But no one you probably ever heard of. But I'm gonna get a cough drop here just because I don't have a cough. It's just they look pretty good, man. I haven't had breakfast. Watching Kukla Friend and Ollie. So I try to revive the Apathy Club, and then I'm over at then I graduate high school, and I'm at the University of Texas at Arlington, right? The UTA, which is just a few blocks away from the high school, and I start putting these posts on the community bulletin board where you can write on index cards and write your opinion about different topics. I would call myself Jeff, friend of mine from Arizona, a friend of the show, that he just sent me a tracking number. It just popped up. He told me the other day he's sending me a Dr. Deadly Monster Scenes model kit, which I've probably written 30 or 40 songs about Dr. Deadly recently. So I need to build that kit up, paint it, add it to my Monster Scenes torture chamber kits. So thank you, Jeff. That's great. So, man, it's great to have friends, man, which is what this whole episode's about. Well, let me continue to put boxes on the elevator. Let's do one more. Is that what it is? All right, hold on. In a loving tribute to the Arlington High Apathy Club at UTA, I start the UTA Apathy Society. And I even have a shirt made. wonder if I still have it somewhere. I must. We're in 1984 now. So I'm walking in the Six Flags Mall in Arlington, Texas, by the Walden Books. Walking east, and two guys tapped me on the shoulder, and I turn around, and they said, "Hey, we were the founders of the Apathy Club at Arlington High, and we love what you've been doing." And I don't know exactly what I said. I'm of course, honored. I said, I didn't want them to think I was stealing their idea, but it was a great idea. So that's how the UTA Apathy Society began. And within a few days, I started my own magazine, which would evolve into the Sophisticate, a humor magazine, a lot like National Lampoon, and also about all the stuff I love culturally and all that. And those two guys, Steve and Tom. Now, Tom was at UTA studying film. And Steve was going to school there, but I don't think he stayed there very long. His parents sold baby clothes, and he like a lot of great people, just dropped out of college because he read so much. He didn't really need college. He was smarter than most college professors. And Tom was in the art department there making a movie. He was about to make a movie. And so I immediately started to become part of his film crew. And was there while he was making that movie. The movie was called Armageddon Fabulosa, and he had written it with the two of them had written it, Steve and Tom. Now, Steve and Tom were like inseparable friends. And had been for years. It was weird to see Steve somewhere without Tom. They were like the Lone Ranger and Tonto. But as we, so in the fall of '84, just a second. Oh boy. Just 1 minute. I guess I should pause this. All right, let's go back down. Okay. There's some clothes I need to take down to wash. Okay. So, Steve and Tom were always together, had been for years. Tom was from a wealthy family. His father was a prominent dentist. All the Texas Rangers baseball team would go to his father to have their teeth worked on. He was the one responsible for fluoride being put in the water in Arlington, Texas, which I guess in the 60s was considered to be a good thing. I think now I'm sorry, I don't want to get into conspiracy theories, but you can think what you want, but I think it's better to not be in our drinking water. But anyway, that was not, that's what everyone believed. So he was also an art dealer and dealing with Western art, cowboys, and all that. What was it? Frederick Reynolds. Man, I don't remember all their names, but they were the great Western artists. I can't remember their names. And Norman Rockwell, he wasn't a Western artist, but he did those great paintings that. But Tom's father was buying those paintings up in the 50s, and the art world would laugh at him. They just think he was a complete moron. Why would you want to buy commercial art made for not just to express yourself, but it's made to be on the front cover of magazines, on the front covers of Louis L'Amour paperbacks? That's just so gauche, or whatever the word is. They just thought that was the worst thing in the world. Now we know that he was right, that Norman Rockwell paintings are worth probably millions, but I remember going into Tom's house and it was just Norman Rockwell paintings and Frederick, whatever can't think of all the names, but there was some painting of Jane Mansfield that had been painted of her that was hanging in his office. It was amazing. But so Tom was from a family that had some money and was somewhat prominent family. They had his family was an Italian family, and they had an Italian restaurant in the 40s and 50s where big bands would play. I mean, the really big bands would play there. And they were not too far away, because back then they had a racetrack in Arlington. So prominent people like Errol Flynn and people from Hollywood would come to Arlington. That's long before Six Flags over. Drew's tearing apart a bottle, a water bottle, empty water bottle. She thinks that's her job, to tear the tops off of every one of them. Since she's been a puppy, that's what she thinks her job is. So Arlington was a destination long before the Texas Rangers and the Six Flags Over Texas, the first park opened in '61, and before Dallas Cowboys would later come to Arlington. Before that, they were in Irving. They haven't played in Dallas since, I don't know, the 50s when they were there at the Cotton Bowl, I think. So the Dallas Cowboys really aren't in Dallas. But anyway, I get distracted, man. So they had some money. And Tom was this, he was a shorter guy, but he was bigger than life. And most people loved Tom. Tom was like, I mean, he could just climb up a wall. He was just like, he could jump on a table. He was like, it was like uh, Douglas Fairbanks in a little body and bigger than life personality and just like the people he admired in the British band. You know, he loved the Who, he loved the Rolling Stones, he loved Jimi Hendrix. I don't know that he would tolerate much other than those three bands, the Doors, and he just sometimes he would go out and just destroy things. I wasn't involved in that, but I knew that he would do these things with another friend of his. That they would go and just throw things out of windows. Steve, that was Tom. Steve was a more wasn't as a wild a guy. He was kind of the guy that read lots of books. And Tom was the guy that watched a lot of movies. His father had taken him to all the great movies, the James Bond movies, The Wild Bunch, Dirty Harry, The Omega Man, all the movies that he loved. Tales from the Crypt. His father the dentist, had taken him to all the movies, and so he had this love for movies. He collected movie soundtracks. He was like Quentin Tarantino. If Quentin Tarantino had a personality that I Quentin Tarantino is interesting to listen to, but after I imagine being in a room with him for a period of time, it would be pretty hard to take, I think. But Tom, you could talk to him about movies. He knew everything. It was like the first time I met him, he knew all about EC Comics. It was like meeting this person, brother. Now, he had this wild side where he would, and he he was different in a lot of ways from me. You know, I wanted a girlfriend that, you know, and I would revere, you know, I would be gentlemanly. You know, he loved girls, but he didn't have a lot of respect for them. And so when I met Steve and Tom, they were these great friends, but there was a crack in their friendship that had started before. Oh, shit. I was afraid this was going to happen. Just a second. Cat's knocked this down. I wanted to put it back up. Gee whiz, man. These cats are getting rambunctious. So Steve and Tom had worked at Six Flags Over Texas, you know, like a lot of teenagers and college students do. And I think Steve fell in love with some girl at Six Flags and wanted to go out with her. And then Tom came in and took her out. And I think Steve had this resentment that he had stolen his girl, but it wasn't his girlfriend. They had never gone on a date, but he liked her. And I guess Tom knew that he liked her. This is before I met them. So Steve had that resentment in the back of his mind against his good bosom buddy. And Steve's parents didn't like Tom because one time they were out in Dallas before I met them. Whenever Annie came out, the musical movie version, John Huston directed of the Little Orphan Annie comic strip, the Broadway play, whatever. When that came out, Tom just instantly had a hatred just looking at, because they had apparently at some theater or somewhere in Dallas, they had life-size stand-ups of the whole gang, you know, Daddy Warbucks, Little Orphan Annie. What was the assistant for Daddy Warbucks? That was that Punjab, or am I thinking of Mandrake? Anyway, the whole cast was there, right? So apparently Tom and Steve and some of their I don't know who else was with them. They decided, let's destroy these cardboard life-size stand-ups, and they tore the heads off of them and whatever. And then the police came, and then they ran. But Steve was not as quick, spry as Tom, who could like run up a wall. He was like Spider-Man. So Steve got caught and was taken in and had to be bailed out. I guess I don't know what happened, but his parents heard what had happened, and it's like they didn't really like the two hanging out together too much. They weren't that fond of Tom. And about this time, Steve Veit drops out of college and starts traveling around in his van selling baby clothes. I guess as a traveling baby clothes salesman, and his parents were part of this business too. And so I didn't see as much of Steve. And Tom was filming his movie Armageddon Fabuloso, which I just discovered my VHS copy of it a couple of days ago. I was cleaning up after this flood in the basement, and so I was thinking of putting that on the internet. So this was a movie that, so I remember it was the fall of '84, and I had just met Tom, and we go over to his brother's house, and he set up his garage like it's a bunker of this mad, insane preacher that's got all these machine guns and everything, because his brother was a Class C, Class A machine gun dealer. I don't know what you call it. And so he had all these World War II weapons and everything. So Tom was making a movie for his college class. And then they were going to show all these movies at a big film festival of all the student films. And he was making a movie, this insane movie with machine guns firing and monsters and explosions and blood spattering and cursing and just an insane movie. And everything else was like, my father's hands. When I see my father's hands, I do. It's all, everyone else is trying to be some auteur. And his movie was just this insane thing. But anyway, so I would go along and help out dressing the sets. And then, because Steve Veit had gone off selling baby clothes, and the two of them had written the script, but the last part, they had this news announcer reading about what had happened and about all the destruction at the end of the movie. And so I kind of rewrote or wrote that whole segment. I wasn't credited in the credits, but you could hear my hyperbole in it. But and I'm in the movie dressed like a soldier, and most of my friends at the time were in that movie. And then I remember going to the premiere of the movie, and it was then there was a big celebration afterwards at his brother's house. I mean, just like a party out of the like Animal House kind of party. It's not quite as destructive, but it was something. So anyway, at some point, Tom Renoni was, I guess I'll say last names. Tom was a guy I hung out with a lot, and Steve was not around as much because of his traveling. But when he was in town, we'd all rent movies at the video station, a video store across from the old high school we'd gone to, and they had all these movies were coming out that we'd read about, like in the Monster Times and stuff, like Blood Feast and 2000 Maniacs. These are movies that never would have ever played on television. There's no way to ever see all of it. VHS was such a neat thing, because now you could see these movies uncut, and some movies you could never have seen at all. And some movies, the only way you ever saw them back in the 70s is if you went to the scariest part of town, the most dangerous part of town, and risking getting gutted, or if you're lucky, you're just mugged. But now all these movies were just available for you to watch. Before, they were these movies that would play in 42nd Street, and these drive-ins that you don't. And anyway, the early '80s, the VHS boom was a fun thing. So Tom was this good friend, and but oh, well, there's some other party that happens later at someone else's house, and this girl shows. This is the mid '80s. This is a pretty girl, one of those heavy metal type girls, that you see in the background of an MTV video, right? And this. I guess the guy that was hosting the party, the two of them were kind of kissing and stuff, and then my friend kind of realized, oh man, this is not. Hey, how about my friend Steve over? He introduces her to Steve. He's kind of trespassing her off because he knows this girl's trouble, which isn't the nicest thing thinking back about it, but he's just like, anyway, so Steve and this girl become a couple, and I think that Tom had tried to hit on that girl after that, and since that had happened before at Six Flags when they worked together, that he'd stolen a girl away from Steve. Tom goes to Steve's place one day, and Steve opens the door, and he's really mad, and that girl's now staying with him, and he had his watch around his knuckles like he was gonna punch. He was like, all of a sudden it changed from a friendship into, I'm gonna punch your lights out. And so they became enemies. These two friends of mine became enemies, and I was friends with both of them. And Tom wanted everyone to take his side, and I went to, like back then, I think John Waters once said, you want to see a real movie lover, it's someone that goes to let me get some more food for this dog, to a drive-in movie theater alone to watch a movie. But I never did. Well, I later did that. I actually did go to a drive-in movie theater alone because I wanted to see. There was a drive-in theater in Granbury that I'd never had been there since the '50s, and they're showing that first Spider-Man movie, the Sam Raimi one there, and I'd already seen it in a regular theater, but I wanted to see it and I wasn't dating anyone at the time, so I just went alone. But I would oftentimes go to movie theaters alone, and I remember I was watching some zombie movie. I don't know, maybe it was Gates of Hell or something at the Lowe's Theater, and I was sitting there, and then I hear a voice. I get tapped on the shoulder, and I turn around. It's Steve. Steve and his girlfriend are behind me. Hold on a second. 1 second. Let me go get food for Drew. So I'm watching this movie, and Steve Ite's like in the row right behind me, and then later I get this call. Apparently I don't know where I don't know where my wife put the dog food, man. I'll blame her. Oh, here it is. I guess I need to buy more dog food today. So the theater manager was a friend of Tom's and called up Tom and said, Kenneth has been seen with Steve Ite at the zombie movie. So he called me up angry. Tom called me up angry and said, you were at the movie theaters. It's just like And he basically told me to buzz off, and so I thought that friendship had pretty much ended, right? And because I was friends with two people, and one of them, I don't think Steve Ike would have minded if I was hanging out with Tom, but Tom minded. It was just a ridiculous situation I was confronted with, and then right about that time, we had not long before this, we had seen the movie The Reanimator play at the Arlington Cinema 4, and we all loved that movie. And Tom decided, I'm going to interview Stuart Gordon and Brian Usna for the local for the uh, college newspaper. He contacted the college newspaper and said, would you like an interview with these two filmmakers that made The Reanimator? And they said, oh, sure. So he figures out how to call them up, and he talks to them, and of course he's becomes friends instantly with them because they speak the same language. They both love everything, the same stuff. And so he gets this interview transcript and writes it up for the Shorthorn, the newspaper at UTA. And then using that article as that was his entrance to Hollywood. So right after Tom basically told me to buzz off, he flew out to, or drove out to LA and started working with them on From Beyond, I believe. And he was the special effects coordinator of Bride of Reanimator. And then he was the special effects coordinator in Hollywood for like 20 years. Working on all kinds of movies. He directed music videos for the Ramones, for Motorhead. I forgot something about why Steve and Tom had their falling out. Tom really wanted to go out with Steve's girlfriend, who was, so he told Steve, your girlfriend's come on to me before, and I want you to watch. I want you to wait outside my brother's house. I'm gonna talk to her, get her into my Ford Mustang 1972 convertible, and drive over to my brother's house. And I'm gonna bring her into that house, and I want you to watch through the window, and then you'll see that it's like a scene out of one of those movies, like Porky's or something. I just want you to see it. If I can get to the point where she's about to kiss me, then I'll just turn to you at the window and say, see? And so apparently that happened, and I don't think he was able to successfully kiss her. I don't, but he got her into the house. But after that, I think that's when Steve just decided to heck with this, and that's when he confronted him with the watch on his knuckles. So that's what happened there. So Tom left for Hollywood. As far as I knew, that was the end of that friendship forever. But I continued hanging out with Steve Ike, and our friendship grew very close to the point where I would say we're as close as brothers. This was in the late 80s through the early part of the 90s. And I was putting out my magazine, The Sophisticate, and I was putting it in stores on consignment, like RPM Records in Dallas, which is one of the coolest record stores ever, and Direct Hit Records, which is a punk rock record store near across from Fair Park in Dallas, and different places like that. And this new store opened called Forbidden Books, run by Jason Cohen, and I had it on consignment there. It was a photocopied magazine stapled together. Everyone was doing fanzines back in the 80s. This is before the internet. This is how people communicated. The Sophisticate was a lot of fun. But Steve would have all these parties, and he had an apartment, and everyone would hang out. Um, he was very literate, very big record collection, very, it was just great to talk to him, a great friend. Um, but his friendship with Steve and Tom, and now it was just a friendship with Steve, and Tom was off in Hollywood. And um, then Tom got in touch with me and it was wanted had a script, and he said, I've got the script, I want to rewrite it, that someone had handed him, and he says, I'll pay you, I don't know, $500 if you would kind of redo this. And he was out and he was acting like nothing happened. Like, okay. So I did that, and I took it over to his family, his mother's house there. His father had passed away at that point. Um, yeah, right before he left for California, his father and his uncle, and so they were all doctors, as I recall. They all were on a little. They were on a little small plane, private plane. They were going fishing down in South Texas, and the plane went down. And I remember it was all over the news. They were hunting for the plane, and Tom was down there, and I think Tom actually found it and everything. So um, that kind of messed him up. Um, so let me try to think. Um, Through my magazine being out there, I had a little address there where you could contact me through a P.O. box. And I started to say, I'm going to sell this video version of the Sophisticate. And a friend and this guy contacted me named Forrest. And he he and his friend wanted to meet me. So we met down in Dallas. And he and his friend were like clones of Steve and Tom when I had met them. It was, tall guy and a guy a little bit shorter. The shorter guy had all the personality, and the taller guy was more he was like this. He was a mad scientist. He was just, you could see the madness in his eyes, like right out of a Frankenstein movie. And Forrest collected pulps and all that. And um, the taller guy, David, he's now, there are documentaries about him on YouTube. He developed this robot named Sophia. He was one of the main pioneers of artificial intelligence. And those two guys had these wild parties up in Denton called the Disturbathon, and they would play horror movies, and it was all, I don't know, they were wild characters. So anyway, they met and really hit it off with Steve, and then all of those guys who were slightly younger all became fixtures at all of Steve Ite's parties. They were always over at his apartment, and I met them through putting out a magazine. And then right about that time, there was a bookstore that opened in a tattoo parlor. The tattoo stuff was going on, piercing stuff was going on in the back, and in the front was a bookstore called Forbidden Books, run by Jason Cohen. And so Jason moved around the corner and opened a bookstore and coffee shop. And then his friend Alex Crow opened a toy store next to it called Zombie Toys. So we were all, this whole gang now, we're over at the coffee shop and that toy store. Like, this is in the early 90s. So all of a sudden there was this big network of friends. I was friends with Steve and this whole group of younger people that were all really smart and interesting people. Um, and yeah, so I guess I got a job working in East Texas for a year. And during that time, I kind of fell away from that group. They all of them joined the Masons. They apparently thought they would take over. I don't know exactly what, I have no idea. Um, about that time, um, how did I meet him? There was a DJ I knew. I think I met him through my friend Randy and his uh, Mark Ridlin. He passed away not too long ago. Um, he called me up and said he had a friend that's selling a bunch of old toys, and he's into all the stuff you're into, and he's selling old Mego figures and everything. So I met him. His name was Eddie Holland. He's the guy I bought this Kiss pinball machine from. He was really into Kiss and really into Kamen Rider, the Japanese TV series that had been on for 20 years. Yeah, about 20 years. Every year they introduce a different Kamen Rider, which means masked rider, and they're these cyborg uh, motorcycle guys that look like crickets, they have helmets, and it's a really cool show. And they fight against this evil organization called Shocker, and so Eddie Holland not only had an entire house full of toys. He was the same age as me. He had all the Mego stuff and all the stuff from my childhood, but he did never stop buying toys. He continued on with the GI Joe, little GI Joes in the '80s, when I was hanging out with Steve and Tom in the '80s, and um, I was not buying these little toys so much. I was buying records and CDs and old Silver Age comic books and stuff. Um, this better be plugged, yeah. So I meet him, and he has and I start borrowing a lot of his VHS tapes and making copies of all these Kiss cons. This is before the internet, Kiss, and before YouTube. Kiss concerts. Uh, he had been trading with people in Japan, getting Japanese shows with the original commercials, and he had a public access show called Monster Attack Team with a guy named Joe Riley. All right, and Joe Riley was this bigger than life Texan that with a beard, and he loved Ultraman and Godzilla. Well, yeah, he was an Ultraman and Godzilla guy, and his friend Eddie Holland was more Kamen Rider. Well, he liked Godzilla too, and Kiss. So, and then so they had an amazing show called Monster Attack Team, where they showed clips from old Japanese TV shows and commercials, and a lot of fun on Dallas Public Access. So right about the time I meet them, those two friends have a falling out, just like Steve and Tom did. I was like, I'm meeting two friends. Wait a second. Now they hate each other. And I want to be friends with both, just like with Steve and Tom. So Eddie Holland, I was friends with him, but it seems like every time we hung out, I was like getting toys from him. It was more like business transactions almost. But Joe Riley, I started hanging out with him. He had a house in Dallas, and he did special effects. He did makeup. He made masks. He sculpted things, and I was doing this magazine, The Sophisticate. He was doing his own underground comics, and he loved The Sophisticate magazine. And he said, "Man, I want to do a video version of The Sophisticate, like the Monster Attack Team show we were doing, except I don't want to just cover Japanese culture and Kiss. I want to cover all the stuff you have in the magazine, The Sophisticate." So he said, I'm going to call my show The Hypnotic Eye. And I said, well, that's great. I think it would be great if you did a video version, and I'll help out. And so The Hypnotic Eye was on Dallas Public Access for a few years, and through people copying it on VHS and trading with people around, it became a pretty famous show. There's Roku channels you can go to that are just completely devoted to The Hypnotic Eye. And so I worked with him on the first maybe 6 or 7 episodes of The Hypnotic Eye. The second episode, I was actually in the editing studio with him. I took several grocery store bags filled with VHS tapes, and I knew what was on each tape, and I said, okay, let's put this video here, and then we're going to go to commercials. Let's put this commercial, then this, and that whole episode 2, was he was just doing his slick editing, and we had this song from an Indian musical that was later used at the beginning. This is in the 90s. In 2001, Ghost World comes out, and based on the comic book, and they used that same song at the opening of that. But I don't know that song. This friend of ours, this other friend of Randy's, was, I think, a roadie for the Cramps. And Lux Interior, the lead singer of the band, made cassettes and to music and VHS cassettes of cool stuff, I guess, to take on the road with him. So he made a copy of Lux's tape that had this this crazy video on it with the whole band were all wearing masks like the Lone Ranger, and they were just dancing around like hair flying. It was just insane. I think it was like Jekka Becca Jini Ho or something. It was just great. And so we put that in the video, and I think those are up on YouTube now. The Hypnotic Eye shows, but so I kind of lost touch with Eddie Holland, but I was hanging out with Joe Riley a lot, and then at one point I called Joe Riley. He just didn't answer, so he may have gotten irritated. Something, he just decided, I'm not talking to this guy anymore. And so and that was mid 90s, I guess. And then whenever the heck, and then maybe 10 years later, whenever MySpace was a thing, I get a text on MySpace or a friend request or something from Joe Riley, and we start talking on there, and it's like, hey, there's a Universal Monsters convention coming up in Grand Prairie next month. You want to go together? It's like, yeah, man. And all of a sudden, we were friends again. And then the next morning, my friend Steve calls me and said, did you hear about Joe Riley? And I said, no. And he passed away last night. So had a heart attack. So that may have been right after I talked with him on the internet. So I don't know. Was I the last person to talk with him? But we made up and we're friends again. Maybe hours before he passed away. That was a spooky thing. And then, working hard for years, met my wife, married her. What? I'm trying to figure this all out, man. My life. There's Oh, wait, I completely forgot about something. Right after Joe Riley kind of stopped answering the phone, Tom from Hollywood shows up in front of my father's house in a World War II troop transport vehicle, because he and his brother and friends of theirs, they collected these World War II vehicles. They and restored them. And my father said, you gotta be, my father being an Army guy said, you better be careful with that. Anyone that's been in the military knows they can jump in there and just press a button and start your vehicle and steal it. Because apparently, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that military vehicles didn't have keys, because in combat, it's like, well, who's got the keys? And the guy that had the keys may have been blown up, and then you can't operate the vehicle. It needs to be whoever can jump in it. You just press the button and you go. I didn't know that, but anyway. So Tom came back from Hollywood, not doing as well as when he left for Hollywood. Hollywood had kind of mentally hurt him, and he came with a lot of ghosts from Hollywood. He didn't like what he saw in Hollywood, and of course, you know now, just if you pay attention, how evil Hollywood is, and he had been awakened by that and saw what happens to people there, and almost succumbed to it, to the evil. They almost got him, so he escaped from Hollywood, really. And he came back kind of a haunted person. But so he came back like nothing had ever happened, like he'd not decided that that would have been for almost 20 years he was in Hollywood, and I thought, oh, that's the guy that hates me. And he comes back, and and while he was out in Hollywood, he was writing a lot for the Psychotronic magazine, Mike Vraney's magazine. I thought Jack Benny was talking about weird tails, but he's talking about he's wearing tails on this tuxedo. Anyway, so I haven't had breakfast, man. What am I thinking, man? Well, just call it intermittent fasting, right? So we were friends and hanging out, and then Tom passed away. He developed heart problems, and I don't remember when that was, but I know that Doctor Strange had just come out in theaters, because the last phone call I got from him, he was talking in my answering machine about going to see Doctor Strange. So whatever year that came out. So I think that was maybe before Trump became president the first time. I'm not sure. So now, why am I going back through? Well, I found these VHS tapes that I'm going to start putting up here on this channel of stuff, so it'll give you an idea. But well, I get a call from Jason Cohen that ran Forbidden Books. He now runs one of those curiosity type shops. It's called Curiosities. I think he has several shops in Dallas, but where they have all the odd stuffed animals and the, like, mad scientist stuff and freak show banners and just weird antiques. I had heard from my friend Randy that Steve, who was a good friend of mine for years, had some bleeding on his brain. I heard this a couple of summers ago, but he didn't have a lot of details. Anyway, I get this text from Jason Sunday night, I think, and he was saying that, have you heard about Steve's condition? And I said no, so anyway, he called me the next morning and explained that Steve had bleeding on his brain. They had to bleed it out, and then he had some he had short-term memory loss. You could talk to him like normal, but he just couldn't remember things that he'd done 5 minutes ago, but he remembered things in the past. Then, which I think is sort of like the way Alzheimer's is. They forget the most recent stuff, but remember the distant, and then I don't know. But then he had, apparently his behavior had been erratic before that, and that was, might have been caused by this blood on his brain, kind of like, so, then he recently had something happen to him where he now has dementia, and he's about to be put in a nursing home. And like I said, I was class of '83, he was class of '81, so that would make him 63. And so all of Steve's big library of books was being taken to be sold. And anyway, Jason was asking if he finds any of Steve's writings or things that are, personal nature that would I like him to send stuff to me, and I said absolutely. So yesterday's show, I was all kind of not really in the best of, hearing about, what has to be done in the basement because of that flood, and whether, I don't know yet whether the insurance is going to cover it or how much, and having to come up with that massive deductible. And I was out mowing the lawn and trimming bushes. I was just tired. I probably wasn't in the best of moods to be doing that yesterday, and I just thinking back about all these old friends, how friends become enemies, and enemies become friends, and they become enemies with each other. Then they become, then there was also, and then since Tom passed away, then I developed this network of friends on YouTube, and some of them like me, some of them dislike me now, some of them, just, I don't know. So just thinking back on all the weird, because you read these Betty and Veronica comics with these two girls that are best friends, but they're in love with the same guy. That just stuff doesn't happen in real life. I remember a librarian at this school said, yeah, when I first started working here, there were two girls that liked the same guy. They started fighting at the top of the stairs over here, which were stone marble stairs, and the fight ended 2 flights down. They were fighting down the whole stairs, man. So, yeah, I don't think people that really works in real life for you know. I showed my wife Wuthering Heights, the 1939 Wuthering Heights. She loved it, and then she wanted to see this new Wuthering Heights, which is terrible. Um, Terrible, just despicable movie. But neither movie really and it didn't even get into the ghost stuff in this newer version. But none of the, I don't know. There have been a lot of adaptations over the years. I don't know about the other adaptations, but most of these two versions kind of stop halfway through the novel. They don't mention Heathcliff digging her up out of the grave. That's that part's not in the movies. But why am I bringing that up? Just thinking about friendships, and love, and how things come and go. It just thinking about friends that have gone, and now I've got my wife, I've got my dog and cats, I've got um, I've got friends in other states that I've never met, like Kevin. I've only seen him on a couple of times. Just, but he's a voice. He's a friend. It's like I have these. It's like I'm in a prison cell, and I'm friends with people on the other side of the wall, and we kind of tap and talk through the wall, but it's just we never see each other. And Jeff, who's a great friend, he's sending me a Dr. Deadly model kit. He sent me so many great things. He's I I don't think I've ever seen him. I've talked to him. He's a customer at Kevin's store, Gotham City Comics, and then I've got Gary Davis in Colorado. I've never met him physically. He's been on my show, and got my friend Ryan back in Texas. We've gotten back in touch. I've known him since the '70s, junior high school. Jim Conrad, a friend from back those old days. He was a friend of Tom's. They met in film school. Um, we're in touch with him. I've known him in person back in Texas, but my wife and I like to talk to him. Sometimes might go a year or so in between talking to him. Randy is a great friend. Randy and his wife back in Texas. This is the stupid thing I'm doing because I'm afraid I'm going to leave somebody out. who, who else do I know? There's a lot of great Captain Strangelove. Some of the comic book people on YouTube. Um, Paulo in Portugal. If I do a live stream, he'll almost always come on. I try to avoid live streams now. It just, I think my phone is charged enough that I can start moving boxes again. Okay, Jack Benny's got Lucille Ball on. Almost 9 o'clock. I believe the appointment I have at that is at 1:30. Okay. Okay. I got stuff that's accumulated on top of the boxes. But I consider the people that regularly watch this show to be friends. Oh, there's all the people that are always on here, Friar Tuck and Missing Mars, and the people that are regular viewers. And I consider you guys to be my friends, which is why I like to do these shit. I like to do these shows because it's gives me a chance to communicate with you guys out there because collecting the stuff I'd like to have more friends, but oh well.
true story behind Paul Revere's rise.
True story?
Yes.
You mean to tell me all this stuff we've been reading in the books isn't true?
Well, let me tell you what really happened. Now, it was in the year 1775. You see, Paul happened to be married to a very lovely woman named Rachel. And one night she was all alone waiting.
See, some of my lines for the radio show got damaged by the flood. Okay.
Friends, this is the first time in the 5 years since you've been kind enough to invite me to your hometown. I've taken the liberty of speaking to you personally. I would just like to assure you that any product you see Hoppy's name on, in my mind, is the finest. Now, here's a little message from my little friends. Always mind your daddy and your mommy. Please remember, they're the best friends you have in the world. Till next week, take good care of yourself.
Oh man, Charlton 66. I completely forgot about. Oh my God. I need to shut the hell up because I'm forgetting. It would be so great if all of these people just all lived in the same town and I could hang out with these people. Charlton 66, he's a great friend. Who else? Stanley J. Kirby, I forgot. He's going to be moving closer to me, actually. I don't know if he's done that yet. He's been on the show. I met him in person. Spinner Rack Dave, he would come on my show. If I'm leaving you out, just say, put in a comment down below, hey dumbass, you forgot that I'm your friend. That's all right.
Howdy, stranger. Nice day for hunting, ain't it?
Speak up.
Who, me?
Yes, you. I'm a bear hunter, and you're a bear.
Not so fast, Buster. Did you ever see a bear wearing a hat?
No, sir.
Ever see a bear with a tie, guy?
I don't believe that.
Without a hat or tie, what do I look like?
You look like a bear. That's what.
You my big mouth. Excuse me, sir, I gotta catch a train.
Come back here, you big old bear.
You crazy mixed up hunter.
I bet you I bagged a big old bear.
You missed me. You missed me. Yikes. The guns are loaded.
Haven't I seen you someplace before?
I don't know. Never been to Pismo Beach?
Heavens, no. Have you seen a big old bear around here?
He went that way.
Mr. Deer?
Wow. How gullible can a guy get ya?
Come back and fight like a man, you two-faced bear. I bet you a big old bear for bucks.
Hey, what kind of game is this? You with a gun. And what defenseless me? Unarmed.
Okay, let's take some more stuff up. I brought this marker because I've got to make sure these boxes are in alphabetical order. But Steve, who's going into the nursing home, his mind was amazing. His sense of humor is just a fascinating person. And for him to, that's the saddest thing, when people lose control of their mind. It's a sad thing, but yes, I'll see these people again in heaven. I guess you can go to heaven if you've torn the head off of Little Orphan Annie or Daddy Warbucks. I don't know. I didn't hate that movie. I saw it before I met them, but okay. This is a big pain in the ass that I've created for myself. Huge pain. Okay, this box is the Flash through Gru. Flash to Gru. I'll just line them up here. Okay, this box, wrong way. Defenders to Doom Patrol. It says, let's see if that's accurate. No, Doctor Strange to Flash. What I'm doing is the wrong way. Don't ever do it this way. There's other comic book channels that will show you better ways to do it. But that's how I did it. Okay, so this goes on the other side of that. I think in the future when I show you comics, I'll show them up here instead of taking them downstairs and letting them accumulate down there. This one is Gru to History of the DC Universe. Marvel Age to Marvel Premiere. Is that accurate? Yes, it is. Commandy through Marvel Age. Okay, what's this? John Carter to Commandy. I've never done a song about Commandy. I just realized that. If you have some ideas about some good song topics, put them in the comments down below. By the way, like this video and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Okay. This is Marvel Premiere to Marvel Team Up. Mad Magazine Box 1. Okay. This is Marvel Team Up to Marvel 2-in-1. This is Marvel 2-in-1 to Mr. Miracle. Okay, that load is finished. Let's see if this box goes, what is it I said? Marvel 2-in-1 to Mr. Miracle. Let's see what this next box over here says.
WFUN degrees here on the Psycho Sock Up with Grudge Orloff. Let's go.
I said the wrong thing, it sounded wrong. I did the wrong thing, and I'm losing you. I hurt you, I'm an idiot, I'm sorry, I want you back. I said the wrong thing, it sounded wrong. I did the wrong thing, and I'm losing you. I hurt you, I'm an idiot, I'm sorry, I want you back.
We used to sleep up here. This used to be where, but during the summer, nobody under the age of 45 watches this channel, but my advice to you, in addition to putting away money for retirement, is to convert all your comic collection to short boxes before you hit age 50.
David Wilcock from 1947 here on WFUN, the music of your life.
Gonna go to San Antonio, gonna meet some topless surfer vampire girls. May get killed 'cause they drink blood, they don't drink milk, but I love those girls.
Oh yeah. Well, we're getting things done quicker than I thought. Yeah, and yeah, so yeah. The Crypt Keeper of Castle Hills. I haven't talked with him in a while. He's a great friend. Dr. Silverage and Shannon. Yes, we're friends. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of friends out there. Okay. What next? 9:10 in the morning. Let's move some more boxes. House of Mystery to Inferior 5. Oh shit.
Daredevil through the Defenders. Hold on, this Three Stooges theme has copyright protection. And of course, there's Jambo Comics and John Goris. They're good friends. And Damon Packard, man. He's a genius, absolute genius. Okay. Well, it's looking more and more like we're living in the end times with all this AI, and I'm having fun with the AI music, you know. Figure I'll have fun with the robots until they annihilate us. These AI data centers sound horrible. I've had the robots sing songs about the AI data centers and how terrible they are. It's good to have artificial intelligence perform songs about how terrible artificial intelligence is, or sad songs about at what point is it no longer artificial intelligence. And oh well. It's we've almost completed this arduous task that I've been putting off for a long time. All right.
No one is safe when this headhunting thing roams the beach. He's coming for you, and he's coming for me. He collects human heads in his cave by the sea. He is coming for you, and he's coming for me.
WFUN 79 AM, 106.9 FM. Labor Day.
When the day's over and I need someone, I pull out a book or two I love to flip through. Then I want a subscription to Hustler magazine. I want a subscription to Hustler magazine.
Beautiful music for beautiful people here on WSUN.
This gang thought it was tough, but they found a new type of hell. The bride of Satan, werewolves on wheels. Werewolves on wheels.
Werewolves on Wheels from 1977. Hey, it's wonderful Labor Day.
WFUN.
And wake up your neighbors, it's Labor Day. It's time to wake up and have fun.
Who owns all the farmland and who owns the media? Who owns all the rental homes where my parents live? And who bought my school loans from the government? Who funds the CDC? And who gives me drugs? BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. They're here to help us. They love us. All the biggest companies you've never heard of. Who are the largest owners in every single industry? Who's running the economy? Who's setting the rules? Who's got more power than anybody? BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. They're here to help us. They love us. BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. They're here to help us. They love 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 us.
I just found a box that was Howard the Duck, the Human Torch. So Marvel Age. This is
I've spent a lifetime
GK Elemento.
Heartbreaking bullshit was my lot in life.
Come on, man.
I didn't realize until it was almost too late
Are you strange to Flash?
that I was missing out on a life that
No.
could be
Flash.
too many wrongs.
Doctor Strange.
Look for the baddies and have a happy life.
I noticed the baddies, and that brought me to you.
Too many Veronica. Look for the baddies and have a happy life. Oh, hey man, you're tuned in to WFUN 79 AM, San Antonio, Texas. Say your prayers and comb your hair.
My show used to be better back in September.
Showdown's finally here. It all
I gotta step up my game, as the idiots say.
Captain Midnight is gonna save us all.
Ah, shit.
This fight was prophesied. It's life or death tonight. You better hold on tight when he gets here. You'll know, 'cause he'll be in the know. You'll recognize him from his radio show.
Say your prayers and comb your hair. The final showdown's finally here. It all ends tonight. Our hero will take flight. Captain Midnight is gonna save us all. WFUN coming to you from San Antonio, Texas. It's your friend and your host tonight, Orloff. And we're playing the music of your life.
Yeah, I need to start doing my show from San Antonio.
King Kong, look out, King Kong, look out. Here comes King Kong, the eighth wonder of the world. He's as big as a house and twice as mean. Got a tail like a 707 machine. Hair as a dog and 100 feet long. Look out, here comes King Kong. King Kong, look out, King Kong. King Kong, look out, King Kong, look out. Here comes King Kong, the eighth wonder of the world.
to the torch.
He's as big as a house and twice as mean. Got a tail like a 707 machine. Hairy as a dog and 100 feet long. Look out! Here comes King Kong. King Kong.
I had a bunch of extra Defenders issues that wouldn't fit, so I'm having them shift books around.
Here comes King Kong, the eighth wonder of the world.
He's as big as a house and twice as mean. Got a tail like a 707 machine. Hairy as a dog and 100 feet long.
Look out! Here comes King Kong.
King Kong! Eric Von Daniken, man, hey, it's Scotty Orloff here. 79 AM, WFUN, your fun stop. We play a lot of country western swing tonight.
Wild and fast. And if you wanna end up giving your all, that's because Pussycat is living reckless. Pussycat is riding high.
If you think that you can tame her,
Well, just you try. It's that she doesn't see what's wrong from right.
she's running fast and free child of the night.
In her life will be no time.
Oh, shit.
You'll never take her, make up your mind.
You will find Pussycat. She's living reckless. Pussycat, she's riding high.
If you think that you can tame her,
Well, just you try.
yeah, just you try.
Come on and try. Yeah, come on and try. Yes, come on and try.
This is shit. This is Defenders to Doctor Strange. Okay. Scheiße! You get mouse one Yiddish. Where'd that cat go?
In her life will be no
Oh.
time for love.
You'll never take her. Make up your mind. You will find
Pussycat, she's living reckless. Pussycat, she's riding high.
if you think that you can tame her. Well, just you try. Yeah, just you try.
God damn it!
Come on and try.
Yeah, come on and try.
Yeah, come on and try.
Okay. Oh! Shit. That's Defenders to Doctor Strange.
From 1951, that's Doug and Emmy Joe on the Capitol Records label on WFUN.
You're listening to WFUN Radio. Rock Zoo is playing the hits. The greatest records in the history of mankind. Yeah. Yeah. You're listening to WFUN Radio.
All right. Oh, there's still boxes here. This is Conan to DC Comics Presents.
Oh no. I gotta shift all the boxes over because this is, oh man, what a pain in the ass.
Yeah, those Martian girls are right. We only play the best records here on WFUN.
It's so much
Roger
fun.
Orloff.
Sunday at Smokin' US 30 drag strip. Watch the best rear-engine field dragsters
Okay,
and look
it's
at
there.
them. Try to push their fruit machines into the magic 570 laps time barrier. From Michigan, Tim Arnold's fierce hallucination fueler. From Ohio, John Milton's motion maker rear-engine field dragster. From LaGrange, Illinois, it's Gary Dye's LaGrange Dodge dragster. From Detroit, see John McNew's Savage fueler rampage. From Chicago, John Cinebaldi's super fast 230-mile-per-hour Scarlet Fever. Us from Missouri, the top team of Hearst and Fire. Plus, over 100 entries compete for the Great Coast Stock and then
Green Lantern. It's like a Rubik's Cube. I never had fun with Rubik's Cube. People that enjoy doing the Rubik's Cube always questioned their sanity.
Schizoid is a motion picture of such biting, gnawing terror it claws at your brain. Schizoid, so mind-boggling the following warning has been posted in the theater. Schizoid is not recommended viewing for persons with schizophrenic tendencies. Schizoid, the loss of reality, a personality split in two.
It's terrifying. This long corridor, and then thousands of others. It's terrifying. I wanted to be alone. No one is there. And yet it's
Well,
should test to see how transferring VHS to YouTube looks. This is Battlestar Galactica to Captain America. Let's try it out. Let's start with a 1960s episode of Romper Room from Channel 11 KTVT that I found in my archives. Where is that, man? Hold on a second, I'll find it. All right, let's test out this tripod.
Miss Pearl said you wanted to see me.
Okay,
Kirby, the leader of
will that work?
I know.
Can I zoom in? No, you can't zoom in.
about to have another. Paul feeling just quit his resignation.
I know that. I happened to call Paul at his home this morning. And Helen's leaving too.
That leaves just you and me. I don't want you to be discouraged.
Who's discouraged? I'll get you a new production manager. And assistant designers? Dime a dozen.
Thank you. I knew I could count on you.
Funny thing, when the chips are down, who do you wind up with? Me.
I've always admired you.
Oh, come on, let's not go too far. I happen to be a very good salesman. That's what you admire.
You're the best.
Who might argue? Maggie, I've been waiting to talk to you for a long time. Now, someone knocked you off yesterday. Someone in your own place you can't trust. But if you had me on your side, one of us could always be watching the store.
How do I know I can trust you?
Well, you don't. That's why I'm here. You and I
The
need
tripod
to
up on
decide
top of
who
this
is
box
better.
here.
Be a business man.
And
I thought we were.
get some extra height.
50-50. All the way. You know, I knocked my brains out making one of the originals a big deal because I figured you'd see the light. It's you and me, Maggie. All the way.
I have to be closer.
Now you're going to.
Oh? Am I?
Hey, forget that without me, you'd still be running around the market with a suitcase under your arm.
Oh, yeah. Sure, sure. You're a fancy designer, Maggie. A great innovator. And the buyers can tell you what you can do with your innovations. It's me that's gotten you across. I unload your dresses without the beads and without the tchotchkes. You can ask anybody on the street, who made Maggie Wendley? Me!
No, the only thing you made is one big fat mistake.
Well, then we're even because you sure pulled a Lulu. I don't mind being brought in here. I happen to have a tough skin, but you should never have accused Paul Fielding.
That's none of your business. I resent your attitude.
Well, you didn't hire me for my attitude. I'm smarter than you are, Maggie. But you're just a hungry little girl from Brownsville. Only now you're successful. And it suits your purposes to be chic and sophisticated. Well, it suits my purposes to be loud and brash and wear white ties. And if you ask me, my way is more honest.
I don't want to see you again ever.
Well, that's fine with me, Maggie. You're hurt. You're confused.
Huh.
Goodbye, present. I'll tell you what's really bothering you. You're just a woman. And you know what you should do right now if you can? Cry.
I should give Herbie 2 weeks when he leaves. And Paul and Ellen? And Carol too?
Yes, Carol too.
Is that all you have to say?
Well, the ship is sinking. The rest is obvious.
Maybe to you. As for me, I have something to tell you.
I don't want to hear it. I've heard enough. A little assistant designer telling me she's better than I am. A production man I took out of a sweatshop, and he blames me for his weaknesses. And Herbie Harner, who should be hustling ties out of a pushcart. Now you finished? No, I'm not finished. I built Wembley Original from the bottom up. Let them all walk out. I can do it again.
Nobody denies that, Maggie. The only one that doubts it is you.
Me?
Sure, that's what stealing the dress really did to you. Your house is shaking, and you're scared. You feel betrayed. And so you turn around and you do exactly that to the people closest to you. How long before you get around to me?
You, Miss Pearl?
Why not? I can't steal? Why? Because I'm good old Miss Pearl who sits out there at that reception desk and keeps out bad salesmen? Good old Miss Pearl with a wonderful boyfriend who understands when she has to stay late and work weekends.
Oh, Miss Pearl, your boyfriend, well, that was just a joke.
Not a good joke. It's a hurting joke. Don't you think I'd like to have a boyfriend? Somebody who cares about me? Wembley Original, that's who my boyfriend is.
But I thought you were happy here.
I never really minded until now. But when I see how easy you could take it away from me, I'll make out 2 weeks to myself, too.
Hold on, this box is too unstable.
Roger? Meg. Is that deal with Ben Starr still good? All right. I think I'm about ready to make it. Yes, we'll have dinner. Okay. Pick me up at home in about an hour. Right.
Man, I don't know how to get this just right.
Miss Pearl! Miss Pearl! Look, when I make a sketch on this paper, the pencil makes an imprint on this sheet. That's how the dress was stolen. I'll bet it was.
So now somebody came right in here and took it off?
Yes, yes, that... No, wait a minute. I designed that dress at home.
So who comes to your apartment?
Oh, no. Oh, no. How couldn't he? Come in, it's open.
Hi, darling.
Hi.
I spoke to Ben Stern. He's really excited, and I'm so happy myself I could just... Oh, how about Nassau for a honeymoon? It was wonderful news, man.
Oh, I've got some even better. Look at this. I got the idea for it on the way uptown in a taxi. Darling, it'll be a smash. It'll be the talk of the trade. No one has a waist design like this. It's even better than the one that's stolen. Oh, you were right about Ben Stark. If I hadn't come up with this. I told you I'd put up a good fight.
Well, but I've set up a meeting with Ben first thing in the morning.
This is first thing in the morning. It'll be in production in the afternoon and on the line in time for the fall showing. This one nobody gets. Oh, don't look so unhappy, darling. We'll go to Nassau right after the showing, I promise. Fix me a drink. I'll only be a few minutes. How was your day, darling?
Oh, not too bad. Before you called, I was down at the Union with Stounded. They're fighting with the help again.
Oh, why don't you tell them to move their factory out of town?
Well, he hates to break the setup. He's going out of business for 6 months. However, I think I can work out a deal for him. What are you doing?
Cutting down on my overhead.
What?
I'm in a tough business, Roger. You're one luxury I can't afford.
What are you talking?
That backing sheet in your pocket. Oh, you don't have to show it to me. There's nothing on this paper. But the sheet with the imprint of my design, you stole that. You were going to do the same thing you did with the other one. Sell it to somebody.
I didn't sell it. I gave it away.
You wanted to see me fail? Why?
Because I love it.
No, because you're jealous of my business. Because you think it stands in the way of marrying me.
You seem to have all the answers, Maggie.
Do you know what you've done? I have four of the most wonderful people in the world working for me.
All right.
Out goes the weasel, and the jack in the box jumps out of his house, and that means it's time for the romper room school. And this is Miss Mary Lynn saying good morning to the boys and girls here, and to all of my good friends at home. In the summertime, sometimes you hear the sirens on the fire trucks going down the street, and you know there's been a fire. So I think it's a good thing for all the romper room doobies to remember that you can stop fires by preventing them. That means don't play with matches or fire. This is a friend that will help you remember. I wonder if you know who this friend is. Smokey the Bear. And Smokey the Bear wants you to remember that when you're out in the forest, like on a picnic, or out in the woods or near the lake, always put your fires out before you go home. And here's another fire dog. He's a friend, and he's called Sparky. Sparky wants to remind you to prevent or to stop fires in our home by never playing with matches and by being very sure you don't get near the fire on the stove. Romper room doobies can all do their part in helping prevent or stop fires. You remember that? Good. Smokey and Sparky and I all say thank you. Are you ready for school this morning? Good, I thought you were. Let's begin. Todd's our flag holder today, and we'll help him by being sure our right hand is over our heart. Do you know what it means when we put our right hand over our heart? This means we love our American flag. That's right, Kevin, this one, right over your heart. Let's all stand very tall and look at the stars and stripes. Ready, home? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We're going to play a game this morning, so don't go back and sit down. Everybody stay up. First of all, we need to get in a circle. What kind of circle would it be this
We've got the wrong ratio going on here. Hold on.
Pie circle?
It's stretched out.
Little Sally Waters sitting in the sun, weeping and crying for what she has done. Rise, Sally, rise. Wipe out your eyes. Turn to the east, Sally. Turn to the west. And now choose the one that you like best.
Now we start by picking a Sally Waters. And if we pick a boy, his name is Tommy Waters. And he sits right in the middle. And then he has to go weeping and cry.
That's the right
And you look like you're weeping
ratio.
and crying, like you've done
They didn't have
something bad.
widescreen television in 1966.
And then we say,
In my,
rise, stand up, wipe out his
see.
eyes, turn to east, turn to west, and then pick the one that you like best. And that's the next one in the circle. That's not hard, is it? All right, let's begin. Who would like to be first? All right, I believe your hand was first. Come in the middle, Kathy. Now get way down here low. Now get ready to cry and weep. Turn this way so the friends of others can see you cry and weep. All the rest of you ready? All right, who will ask Mr. Music to play? You may, Brenda. Turn to the east, Sally, turn to the west. Now choose the one that you like best. Brenda gets to be next. Nobody's seen with me. Where are your voices this morning? Now look for your voices. Where are you, my voice? Where's your voice, Kevin? You lost yours too, Todd. Where's your voice? There it is. Put it in your mouth. Oh, that's much better. Jackie, come over here so we can see our little Sally. Get down in the sun, way down there. Now this time, let's help her sing. She can't sing. She has to weep and cry. Let me hear some sniffles down there. Whoa, you look too happy to cry. She's the happiest sad Sally I ever saw. All right, Mr. Music, would you play for us? Water sitting in the sun, weeping and crying of what she has done. Sing, Sally, rise, wipe out your eyes, turn to the east, Sally, turn to the west. Now choose the one that you like best. In the circle, Sally. Where was your voice that time, Todd? Did you lose your voice again? Where was your voice that time, Kevin? Nobody's helping me this morning. I hear some friends at home, and I thank you for singing. All right. Who will ask Mr. Music to play? And let's sing. Todd, you may. Sing to her now. Little Sally Waters sitting in the sun, weeping, crying of what she's done. Rise, Sally, rise, wipe out your eyes, turn to the east, Sally, turn to the west. Now choose the one that you like best. Have you been in the circle before? I'll tell you what, let's let our two boys in, shall we? Okay, both boys in the center. Together, we'll have two Tommy. Now get down and cry together. Oh, so sad. Look at those sad faces. This time we'll sing Little Tommy Waters. Oh, they're sad looking. All right. Mr. Music, play for Tommy this time. Sing, girls. Little Tommy Waters sitting in the sun, weeping and crying what he has done. Rise, Tommy, rise. Get up. Wipe out your eyes. Turn to the east, Tommy, turn to the west. Now choose the one that you like. Well, I'll just stand here and cry. Do I look sad? Come on, that was a good day this morning. Everybody got to weep and cry just a little bit. I hope you're not crying this morning. It's a happy morning, isn't it? I'll be back after this word from Cool Pops.
Hey kids, this is Silly Putty, and you can make it into anything you want, like an elephant or a dinosaur. And what's even more, it can bounce like a ball or stretch it very tall. You can press it on comics, and it comes off with the bonnet. And you know what else? It's free. Free with 3 top boxes of Cool Pops. Just send them to Free Silly Putty, Post Office Box 3, Bradley, Illinois. And when it arrives, maybe decorate your nose. Now relive Robin Hood's exciting adventures. Get one of these 14 storybook figures free inside special packages of Kellogg's vitamin-powered Sugar Smack cereal. There's a Sherwood Forest cutout to play with too. Get Robin Hood, Little John and Friar Tuck, Maid Marian, Sheriff of Nottingham, Robin's Minstrel, or one of his band of merry men. Go adventuring. Collect free Robin Hood figures from Kellogg's vitamin-powered Sugar Smacks.
Who can count all the raisins in Kellogg's Raisin Bran? I can. We take juicy white grapes from under the sun, turn them to raisins one by one. Those plump juicy raisins
You miss me. Me too.
are frosted with sugar and mixed with bran flakes. Kellogg's Raisin Bran, the funniest bran under the sun.
There's only one of me.
Kellogg's puts more in your morning.
More raisins. September of the year means go back to school. And so we're going to get ready for going back to school by learning how to make a school. And do you know what out of? A cereal box. That's what. When you eat all of your cereal, you have the box left. Let me show you what you can make out of some scissors and some tape and just an old empty cereal box. Look on the table in front of me. I can make a box into a schoolhouse with a little pointy roof like this one, and a door. Where's my door? Oh, I cut that one out, didn't I? And this one, you see, has two doors over here, one side and the other, and I've made a pointy roof and a chimney on this house. And on this cereal schoolhouse, I have made a flat roof, and I've made a door that opens this way and a window. And now I'll show you how to do it. Watch carefully. Take an empty cereal box like this. Be sure there's no cereal in it. All empty. Now, watch carefully what we're going to do. First of all, why don't you cut off these little flaps on the end? You see them here? Because they just flip and flap around and get in your way. Remember, romper room friends, when cutting, do not use big grown-up scissors like I'm using. If you have to have big, strong scissors, get Mother or Dave to help you cut. It's very important to be safe when using scissors. Now, I'll show you how to make our schoolhouse. I want to cut down each little corner here to make flaps. Watch me. Put your box down and I'll cut right down the corner of the box. Cut almost halfway down. Did you see that? Now I'll cut the other side. Cut, 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 cut. You see what I've done? This is going to make the roof to my house. Now I'll have to make the other side of the roof, so turn my box over and cut right down this. If you don't have a box to cut right now, watch carefully the way I make it. And then this afternoon, you can make a cereal box schoolhouse. Now, you see, this makes the roof. I'll put the sides together like this to make a pointed roof. Let's fold them first so they'll be nice and straight. Where's my roof? See my roof in here? And I'm going to tape it together. This is called masking tape, but you may use any kind of tape you'd like. You may use Scotch tape, or even adhesive tape if you have some, maybe from the medicine box. There's my roof. I'll tape him right up to a little pointy roof. Now I need another piece of tape for my roof. Or, if you don't have tape, you might even use a staple. You might be able to glue it. It might be hard. You see the roof down in there? There it is. Now, I've got to do something with these flaps, don't I? So we'll have to cut them off. That's right, so that they won't stick up. So let's cut them right along the line of our roof. Now watch the way I do it. Hold your box where you can follow the line of your roof. Cut, 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 cut. Whoops. And there's one side, see? Now let's cut the other side. That's a better way for me to hold it. Cut, cut, cut. Now there's one side. Now I have to cut this one. Let's cut it again. Ready? Cut, cut,
my schoolhouse. It looks like it has an ear. Cut it down this way. Cut. 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 Now you see, you have a schoolhouse, and you may tape the sides together, or you may just leave them standing up straight and tall like that. Now, what does our schoolhouse need? Doors and windows. The windows might be hard because they're very small, but let's make a door, shall we? Want to make it on this side? All right, take your scissor point and poke it in. You see what I'm doing? And that's one side of my door. Now, square the door at the top and at the bottom. Now, watch. I cut here, and here, and here. And now all I have to do is open my door. Now you can make 2 doors or 1 door. If you want to make windows, you can cut them here. This is how I made my chimney. I took one of the little flaps that I cut off, and I stuck it right in here and taped it too. And then I had a schoolhouse with a chimney on it. So you see, all you really need is an empty cereal box. And if you don't eat cereal in your house, you might use an empty cracker box, couldn't you? Some other kind of empty box in your house that you could make. Cut the tops. Might even use that kind of box. Well, have a good time making a school for September out of a cereal box. We'll be back to play with you in just a minute.
Right here with a song to sing when Mom gives you your shots vitamin once a day. Shots like Scruncheroo. Chew and shots, chew, 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 chew. Chew and shots, it's Scruncheroo.
Look, moon kids and their mom. Get out the chocks, Charlie.
Okay, but they've been living on moonbeams and don't know what's good like you do.
1 choc a day will show them.
Here, Moon Mom, shots. Fruit juicy little shots, chock full of vitamins.
Pink choc, green choc, orange and more. Scruncheroo.
For your earthlings, Mom, they should eat right, but they don't always. So give them just 1 shots a day for all the vitamins they normally need to take. Chew a chocks, chew, 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 chew. Chew a chocks, it's Scruncheroo. Get chocks or chocks plus iron, the ones to grow on.
Ow! I was put down for 50, oh, I know. Sugary alphabet, F-O-U-R-4. Take this cereal, you ever met. Talk about it. It's of the eating of the alphabet. Ow! I was put down for 50, F-U-N-1. Sugary alphabet, are you in one? Take this cereal, you ever met. Talk to me. It's of the eating of the alphabet.
We have gotten in line while we were waiting for you because we want to play Follow the Leader. Now that means there's one friend in the very front of the line who is the leader. And he or she thinks of something very hard or very funny, and all of us have to do just exactly what the leader does. Now that means we have to look at the leader, in case she might change her mind right in the middle of the circle, and we have to do exactly what she does. Now, can you all see our leader? Christy said she'd be first leader. Everybody look at her. Be sure you can see where Christy is. Now, Christy, you can keep us in a big fat circle. And whatever you do with your fingers, or with your toes, or with your arms, or with your head, we have to do. Kathy, can you and Kevin see Christy? Peek around so you can see her. All right, Mr. Music, let's begin. Watch her carefully. Watch her. She's changing. Hop, 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 hop. on that thinking cap. Chrissy, you get back at the very back with Kevin, and I'll come back with you all. Ready? Thought of something? Oh, and you want me to lead? Oh, it's not my turn yet. Think of something with your fingers. Well, have you thought of something, Kathy? Well, let Kathy be the next leader, and then we'll follow her. All right. Keep your eyes on Kathy. Now, watch. Sometimes they do things with their fingers. Oh, it's funny? All right. Kevin? Good. Come on up here with us. We're ready, Mr. Music. Watch Kathy, everybody at home. She's smiling. Come on, everybody can smile. Keep it to the bigger circle. Watch her. March, march, march. Pick up your knees. That's good. I was a slowpoke and I was so far at the back of the line that I was behind. I was in front of you and I couldn't see what you were doing. Did you catch me? You did catch me? I wasn't being a good follower?
You were a ball and you were in front of me.
That's right. Are you ready, Brenda? All right, back of the line. Oh, look at Brenda. Let's see what this leader will do. Remember, we can do things with our fingers, and with our face, and with our knees. All right. Brenda, are you ready? All right, Mr. Music, we have a brand new leader. Everybody at home, follow Brenda. Let's go. Watch your hands. One leg up. Watch your fingers. Watch your fingers. Good. Good. Everybody's doing good. Whoops. That was good, Brenda. Did we catch you? Well, Todd, you get to lead us back to our desk. Are you ready? Everybody behind Todd. This way. Behind you. Come on. You can take us to our desk, and we have to follow doing any way you want to get us there. Have you thought of a hard one? You friends at home ready? All right, Mr. Music, let's follow Todd. What kind of skip is that? Skip, 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 skip. Back to the bloody line. I've lost my friends. Skip, 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 skip. Skip, skip, skip. And we will keep skipping. Skip, 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 Well, the music was still going. All right. I hope you'll have some breakfast with us this morning. Or maybe some cereal, or maybe your milk or juice. But first of all, let's say the blessing. Everybody bow his head. Ready? Ready? Come on at home. God is great. God is good. Let us thank Him for our food. Amen. Now, I'm going to get my story ready, and we'll hear it after this word from Ralston Purina.
There's a surprise prize hidden in each box of new sugar frosted checks. If we give you some hints, can you guess what the prizes are? See if you guess right. Get the checks with sugar frosting and a surprise prize in every box. You'll be surprised with new sugar frosted checks. But let's keep the surprises a secret, huh?
The talk. The story today is about hearing. So if you want to hear, you have to be quiet as a mouse. Ready? The story is called What is Your Favorite Thing to Hear? And let's see what it might be. What is your favorite thing to hear? Your favorite thing to hear? I like the sound of summer rain splashing upon my window pane. Splash, splash, splash. When the wind goes past this tree, it whispers secrets just for me. As long as I am safe and warm, I love a crashing thunderstorm. The thunder goes boom. It's very mysterious how I can hear the faraway sound of the sea in my ear. Have you ever picked up a seashell and listened inside?
I have one at home, and it's on my dressing table, and every time before I leave, I just pick it up and start hearing.
It makes funny sounds, doesn't it? Let's see, what else? I wish I knew the reason why I like to hear a jet roar by. I wish I had wings. I wish I could fly. The sound of music makes me sing and makes me dance and everything. My little heart is sure okay the way it thumps and pounds all day. Put your hand over your heart. Put your Pledge of Allegiance hand over your heart and see if you can hear your heart. Can you feel it go thump, thump, thump? If you listen to someone's heart, you can hear it go thump, 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 thump.
I can feel mine.
Huh? A thundering, rushing train on the track makes me scream and shout right back. When I hear a lion roar, I feel like running out the door. But I wish that he would roar some more. Do you boys and girls know how to roar like a lion? Oh, much worse than that. Come on, everybody, let's roar. Oh, much better, much better. Yes, because you wouldn't have scared me at all at first. This time it was much better. Giggles and chuckles are what I'm after, because I like the happy sound of laughter. Now let's hear some happy laughter. All right. The louder the booms that color the sky, the more I love the 4th of July. Do you suppose the ice cream man goes with his ting-a-ling truck to the Eskimos? I get so excited by the beat of a booming drum and marching feet. It makes us feel like one of the boys when we hammer and saw and make lots of noise. I love the sound of cock-a-doodle-dooing, clucking, quacking, and moo-mooing. I'll wait all day for a single tweet to come from the throat of my parakeet. But what is your most favorite thing to hear and hear? I know what I love to hear. I'll tell it to you in your ear. Secret words get very near. I love you. I love you, dear. And what is your favorite thing to hear? Everybody has favorite things, I guess. Favorite sounds. Do you have a favorite thing to hear? Tell it to me in my ear. Come on, tell me. Is that your favorite thing to hear? I'd like to hear you say some favorite things, because I'm going to look for you in my magic mirror. All right? Here we go. Romper, romper, stomper, boo. Tell me, tell me, tell me, do. Magic mirror, tell me today. All my friends have fun at play. I saw some birthday boys and girls today. And there's Frank and Arthur, Charles and Elaine, Pete and Lena. I see my friend Estelle and Dolly and Gina. There's Madeline and Tommy and John and Alice Ann. I'll look for all of you again Monday morning at 8:30 in the Romper Room School.
The Romper Room, featuring Mary Lynn Kroll, is a Bert Kloster production. The story read today was written by Myra Tomback Gibson. Fashions like third-floor sportswear at Leonard's. Miss Mary Lynn's hairstyle by Tony Hatley of Richardson's La Beauté at Beecham's. Makeup by David Dream of Holiday Magic Cosmetics and Bride and Formal Salon. The Department of Education and Psychology of Dickinson College of Carlisle, Pennsylvania, participated in the formulation of and approved the format of the Romper Room program. This program was pre-recorded.
When the night falls and the shadows become deep and dark and the silent call of evil settles on the earth, who dares to search? Who dares to seek what lurks in the night? If you dare, welcome to the nightmare. Another innocent soul from the outside world is seeking entrance to this frozen cavern, is seeking to find a mystery that has enthralled mankind for centuries. Encased within this chamber, encased within this cave, is the secret of life itself, as man once understood it. How valiantly they try, my dears. She is not the first to approach this secret. Approach it with great courage, great hope, and great ideas of how to use the mystery. She will not be the last. And how pleased I am, my dears, that you chose to accompany her this evening, to explore the mysteries of the mind, the soul, and the pure essence of mankind itself. It will require great patience, my dears, great concentration, and above all, my lovely ones, your search tonight will require great bravery. For once we have unlocked this secret, once we have revealed it to you, it is not a story for those who are faint of heart or tremble at the knowledge of black evil. It is only for the very brave, the very curious. If under those conditions, my dears, you choose to join us for this evening's search, stay with us. Proceed cautiously, because what you are about to learn did not originate with this earth, did not originate in the plants of the caves, my friends. The mystery that we are about to explore originated millions of light centuries away from where we are. Look for certain clues, and slowly, surely, we will reveal to you the entire body of wisdom.
Her search continues. What perseverance, what tenacity. Does it not amaze you, my friends, to contemplate the heights and depths to which the human curiosity can drive its captives? I trust that you, as one of the strong ones, can control your curious impulses. When time and knowledge is frozen, and history remains static, the earth and all the beings therein are living upon the brink of great happenings. Who knows what happens when long suspended secrets are suddenly unleashed upon the planet? Who knows whether the knowledge will benefit or destroy? How foolish and vain of mankind to think that such a mystery as this could be contained by locks and chains and heavy timbers, or even buried deep beneath the earth in a frozen cave. For what we are exploring tonight, my friends, pervades all of the cosmos itself. It will be well worth your time to gain this knowledge. The moment of success approaches for the valiant young lady. Little does she know the true nature of the mystery that she will find concealed behind the wall of ice. For that mystery is elusive. That mystery is well kept. At this moment, only you and I know its nature. After a tedious task, she has entered the cave and now seeks to find what is locked in the mystery box. What she suspects, my friends, and what she seeks is the ancient monster in whom the power of evil is encased. She knows only a portion of the mystery. She knows only a part of what she seeks. The monster is gone, destroyed, no longer in existence. Yet the power passes on, person to person, and individual to individual, and mind to mind, and may someday come to rest in you. The human brain can be erased and drained of all its concentrated residual learning. What lies within you, my dears, that will be of use to another, whether good or evil? Isn't it fascinating, my dears, to contemplate what you could do if you had the power to accumulate knowledge through the mysterious powers we have just observed? How much wisdom you would have, how much knowledge and power you would possess. But of what use is that power, my dears, unless you can preserve life throughout eternity? Tonight we have prepared for you a dual journey. One we have just completed, although the mystery itself still remains within the universe. The second part of tonight's lesson, my dears, takes place a small distance from here. We will take you there now, where we will visit the castle of the family of Count Dracula, so that you may leave this evening armed with the knowledge of accumulated wisdom and life without end. Persevere for a moment, my dears. Our journey will take only a moment. Through the process of protoplasmic transmutation, my dears, we have taken the liberty of transporting you to a far and distant land. A lovely and scenic land of tranquil pastures, lovely green forests, and quiet villages. But in the midst of this beauty, my dears, in the annals of history lies something of mortifying terror. For at this moment, my dears, in this peaceful country of Transylvania, you are in the castle built centuries ago by the brilliant Count Dracula. You are not, however, at this moment, in one of the grand and elegant guest chambers reserved for special dignitaries. You are not in the grand banquet hall on whose walls hang priceless tapestries and works of art. You are, my dears, far beneath the surface of the earth, far beneath the rest of the castle of Count Dracula. For it was here in this chamber that the ancient Count discovered that life is death, and death is life. And it is this knowledge, my friends, that placed a curse upon the family throughout the generations that ensued. And it is this curse of the family of Count Dracula that we are here to explore. For many think and honestly believe that the curse did not disappear from the face of this earth, but still occurs in modern times.
not only in this secret and horrible place beneath the great stone castle, but is capable of being transported from land to land and continent to continent. Whether this is myth or whether this is truth is our mission tonight. But my dears, I am not qualified with the knowledge of the dark arts to guide you entirely upon this journey. We must call upon our most gracious host here in the country of Transylvania to accompany us on our exploration. Please welcome our host, the Count Dracula. In the history of the family of Count Dracula, there were many persons who fell under his magic spell, both living and dead. And those who were so cursed with the mystery of the family of Dracula spent an eternity within and without the confines of the coffins, rising upon command to venture upon the earth and the beings that live therein, to do the work, to follow the commands of the great Count Dracula. Let us have one of his lovely proteges accompany us upon the remainder of our trip. The mysteries of the House of Dracula are far too complex for your simple mind to comprehend, my friends. But one of the most intriguing mysteries is this. What power lurks within the illicit blood infused by the House of Dracula that seemingly motivates and gives power to these poor, tortured creatures that we call the living dead. The hour is late, and the moon is full. And it is time, my friends, for the members of this evil sorority to rise from their resting place and seek their mission for the evening. Where their evil blood will lead them, or into what innocent family they will appear, is only for them to know. We certainly hope, my dears, that their mission tonight is successful. The searing flames has destroyed your master, my lovely ones. Come and peer into the empty sarcophagus of the Count Dracula. When his body burned, his soul did perish, and nothing but his evil memory now remains. And that means, of course, my lovely ones, that you are doomed to your current state of nothingness forever. However, my lovely specimen of the walking dead, fear not that you have lost one traditional leader. For I have learned his secrets here in this country. And I have absorbed the black knowledge of the generations of the family of Dracula. Accept me as your new leader. Follow me where I go. Accept my command, and I will see that each night when the moon is full, that you have errands and business to transact in the normal world that will perpetuate and continue the ancient tradition of the living world. How brutal, my lovely ones, to think that you can destroy the power that controls you. Your fate is eternal. Your destiny is everlasting. The secrets of the family of Dracula are known only to me. Come, my lovelies. Do not seek to destroy that which controls you. The evening is yet young. Much is to be done, and many places are to be visited before the dawn breaks. Come, my obedient ones, and to you, my dears, good night. Sleep well, and have pleasant dreams.
That was Bill Camfield.
Mighty Melvin, friends, we're going to make this spot of iodine here on the church.
Is that going to make calluses in your hands?
Bill Camfield was
That's one thing I like about you, Sam. You don't monopolize the conversation. As for me,
He was, that was from KTVT Channel 11 in Fort Worth, Texas. He was the, oh man, just a second. Bill Camfield was at Channel 11, which was an independent station in Fort Worth, and he played the character Icky Twerp in the mornings and afternoons. He played Three Stooges comedies and cartoons, and then he on Saturday night he was Gorgon. That was the horror host of a show called Nightmare. And that was some of the surviving footage of that. What I'm going to play for you next, I was telling you about my old friend Tom, who's passed away, and the college film he made. I found that film. I'll show that to you now. I see these, oh shit. I think it's better to do these transfers at night when there's not light coming in from the windows.
Reverend, what the goddamn hell are you doing, boy? I played for problems, sir. I'm sorry. I found a weapon here. Jimmy, I'll show you how to. That's all there is to it, son. Sir, do you think I'm ready to accept the ways of God? Well, hell yes, boy. Your check just cleared.
That damn preacher's up here, keeping everything tore up, disturbed. They're giving them ignorant son of bitches automatic weapons up there. We got to get him out of the country.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, and welcome to this edition of Action 47 News. I'm Neville Faust. Over the past few years, an alarming phenomenon has evolved a cult of hardcore survivalists, dedicated to spreading the word of religion through military might. At the scene in Ovum, Texas, here is 47 Action News reporter Sean Scrotum.
Behind me now, you can see the seeds of a new religious order being planted. The baptismal rites of one Reverend Ulysses S. Buxton, self-proclaimed machine gun messiah, preparing his followers of drifters, derelicts, and bums, and unemployed politicians for the upcoming Armageddon, which, according to the Reverend, is just around the corner. Sean Scrotum, live Ovum, Texas, Channel 47 News.
Thank you, Sean. The Reverend conducts services at a 3,000-seat temple in Ovum, but rehearses his sermons in a small shack he refers to as God's bunker. It is alleged that on these same grounds, the Reverend conducts experiments with napalm to test its effects on a herd of poodles he breeds for this purpose. Other experiments involve ballistic tests, garroting, chemical injections, and advanced dental techniques. More news after this.
This is God's general, the anointed Reverend Ulysses S. Buxton, bringing the word of divine goodness from our Lord of peace through superior weapons capabilities. Amen.
Yeah! Honey lamb, come on back here and play with Cuddle. I have a powerful itch that needs a scratching.
Shut up or I'll beat the hell out of you! Honey, how can I practice my preaching when you're acting like a she-cat in heat? Woman's as dumb as a box of rocks.
What did you mean when you told Brother Billy I could suck a tennis ball through a garden hose?
Cuddles, darling, I'm in conference with the Lord, so let me be, or I'll smash your teeth out with a ball-peen hammer. Where was I? Oh, yes. Jesus came to me in a fiery vision and said unto me, you must incorporate yourself, lest Satan audit your holdings and cause the hellish wrath of the infernal revenue demons to bring about your downfall. And the Lord looked upon your reverend's chief corporate holy venture, and it was good. I'm speaking of automatic weapons for Jesus Incorporated. Hallelujah, praise God. But whether you've heard of that or not, you can participate in the Reverend's forthcoming Armageddon Jubilee sale. Now you may be asking yourselves why y'all need automatic weapons for the time of rapture. So let me show you what I found in the Bible. Look at all these horrible creatures surrounding Jesus. This is why you need automatic weapons. Now, it's been a spell since I sat down with the Bible, and I don't rightly remember the Triceratops. But Brother Billy read about it, and he's a God-fearing man. Oh, Lord Almighty. Step back, Satan, it's the BAR. No Triceratops is gonna ruin your apocalypse with a couple of bursts from this, baby. God wants you to buy now. And one of his personal favorites is a Vickers heavy machine gun. Guaranteed to kill any one of these beasts from hell or your money back. And nothing quite cleanses sin like these items from the All Saints Memorial Explosive Department. Now we're offering 3 free grenades with each purchase of 2 Laws rockets, or 2 grenades free with the purchase of a belt-fed heavy machine gun and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. Looky here, the Nazi MG 34 8mm, and my God, it's the MG 13. Praise the Lord, Jesus loves you. God damn! Just to the right of Jesus, a 3-headed leopard, and that woman on top will suck the spinal fluid right out of your body for absolutely no reason. So, for this woman, you should use our own GI Volado M16 with 3 grenade launcher. Woo! You never know when the voice of the Lord's gonna speak out to you.
After you get finished shooting the whole goddamn place apart, why don't you get those damn bandit brats out of the front yard? If you think you can handle kids, you squint-eyed piece of shit.
Why don't you shut up before I gut you like a hog? You need to do something about that woman. Well, greetings, Brother Billy. Just how in the world's your hammer hanging? Fine, Ulysses. I've been in Bible study all day, and the Lord has revealed unto me that we need to get us an armored division. Just look at this. Hallelujah, thanks for God. But before I announce any more prophecies, you're going to have to take a belt to those youngsters outside. Do you understand me? Now get to it, Ulysses. You're damn right I'll take care of them little brats.
Let's get some bigger rocks. Oh yeah, I really want to show that fucker.
Oh my God! You let go my babies, you pervert! You release my little girls, you filthy bastard! Oh, my little lamb, run on home to freedom, babies! I'm not gonna let you abuse my precious darlings anymore, you child molesters, scumbag, commie, penis! Hear me, brothers! The times I have trained you for are upon us! The apocalypse is here! Behold, the sinners from the depths of hell that I purified with blessed bullets! My obedient children, the servants of the unholy beast has arisen! We have been ordained to dismember and rip the guts out of the portal-reading heathen trash like these! Gaze upon the joyous weapons of fire! God has given us RPG rocket launchers, full-auto weapons, grenades, napalm, and death gas to rid our planet of evolutionary preaching gold! Do not shove, my minions! Ulysses has arms for all! For these are my machine guns! Use them in remembrance of me! Take these, for this is my ammo! Accept these in honor of me! My children, use them to spill the blood that cleanses us all from sin! Hallelujah! God judges the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day! For the wages of sin is death! Go, my disciples! Slaughter the persecutors of our way! Kill those who see our rated movies! Kill those who listen to Jimi Hendrix! Kill those who fornicate! Kill those who defecate! Kill those who drink like beer! Kill, save, destroy! Kill them all!
fighter is ready! Yes, Ulysses. Ulysses are loaded to do God's bidding. Hey, ho, Reverend Buxton, we love you! Destroy the evils of mankind! We love you! Get the fuck out of here! Onward, Christian soldiers, marching on to war with a cross of
Just into the Channel 47 newsroom, we've just received reports that tragedy has struck again in the peaceful community of Ovum, Texas. The celebrated evangelist Reverend Ulysses S. Buxton led his followers on a depraved rampage of sheer destruction, killing an estimated 40 people. Buxton's clan, fully armed with machine guns, rocket launchers, and grenades, rolled into Ovum guns ablaze, leaving a trail of carnage, burning twisted corpses, and flaming death. An exact body count is impossible at this point, since the entire city is engulfed in flames. Believed to be among Reverend Buxton's followers is his younger brother, Billy Buxton, who has faced a variety of criminal charges in the past, including rape on all counts, public intoxication, and an indecent exposure charge, which resulted in the closing of their daycare center last September. Also identified among his crusaders is Cuddles Cash, a known prostitute and girlfriend of Reverend Buxton. Identities of the other members of his force are unknown at this time. Local authorities claim that this church trains for the prophesied wrath of God, that the followers themselves believe they will assist God with a variety of weapons. Local authorities claim they have had no knowledge of Reverend Buxton's purchase of armored cars, deadly explosives, and illegal heavy machine guns. Federal Officer J.T.P. Pennis told Channel 47 News that his investigation will begin at a now abandoned country shack outside of Ovum, known to the members of this parish as God's Bunker. It was there that they planned in the name of religion. Lieutenant Pennis says he will start his investigation there immediately.
We're gonna catch that murdering bastard, and we're gonna fry him.
As for the whereabouts of Reverend Buxton, we've had new reports that he was last seen flying his private plane, strafing various stores that sell comic books, rock albums, and pornographic materials, which from previous information appears that this is his attempt to rid the world of sin. Jerry Falwell could not be reached for comment. Bubbles?
Astoundingly fascinating. Thank you, Mervis. And that concludes tonight's edition of Channel 47 Action News. Tomorrow we will have part 3 of our continuing series on Raising the Dead, in which the uses of the living dead as household help will be discussed. Good night, and drive safely over the holiday weekend.
My God, Bubbles, I feel a stiffy coming on. Why don't you...
Brother Billy interpreted from the book of Rambo. Only the well-armed shall survive against Sergeant Satan and his unholy commandos. Remember, my brethren, we are allied together to obliterate that pervert Lucifer and his army of sissy demons through superior Christian firepower. I shall lead you to victory, for I am the Machine Gun Messiah. Machine Gun Messiah! Send in your money, brother, before the devil's heist. God must have his soldiers to slay the Antichrist. Lift your arms and praise him with guns in every hand. Send in your money, brother, for the sacred ammo stand. We will march with Reverend Buxton when Armageddon falls. He's our media messiah, a bumpkin bronc with balls. He's the machine gun messiah. He sees visions we don't see. He hears the voice of Satan, that destructive enemy. He prays a rocket launchers and the MG-34, waiting for your money and the Armageddon war. Armageddon Fanarosa, the bloody day is signed. Armageddon Fanarosa, know this battle from the mind. Know this battle from the mind. Send in your money for our army to redeem, to disembowel Satan with the mighty M16. We are God's armed militia, oh be not afraid. Send bucks to the Reverend for guns and hand grenades. Your flagellating Reverend says the bloody war is due. He needs bucks for weaponry and would not lie to you. He's the machine gun messiah. He sees visions we don't see. He hears the voice of Satan, that destructive enemy. He prays for rocket launchers and the MG-34, waiting for your money and the Armageddon war. Armageddon Fanarosa, the bloody day sign. Armageddon Fanarosa.
I guess the VHS tape ran out of. Oh well. This isn't the best way to transfer old VHS cassettes. I got to figure out some system where I can load, transfer DVDs recorded from VHS right to the to a computer, and then I could put stuff up on YouTube. I've got so much stuff on VHS and everything that should be up out there and I think the Crypt Keeper of Castle Hills, Mike in San Antonio, is doing a great thing getting all of his collection up, and I need to figure out how to do that, because otherwise it'll never be seen by anyone. Yeah, a lot of the humor in that movie made 42 years ago is not especially that funny, honestly, now, but anyway, I gotta go. Gotta take the dog to the vet. I'll be talking to you soon.